Hey everyone, I'm Bazinga again. Today I'll be drinking a newly received tea, but it's been in my stash for a couple of weeks now, and it's the 2025 Autumn Lao Man E Gushu from Farmerleaf. And yeah, let's just dive right into it with some first impressions. So first of all, the leaves are actually quite beautiful, quite big as well, with a lot of buds in the cake. And something funny, in my cake, like half was had a significant amount of buds in it, while the other half had less in them, which was very weird. It was like straight down the middle. But let's get into it. First impressions with the smell of the dry. Right, smells like a young Puerh. A little leathery, a little like blonde tobacco leaf. So yeah, quite typical, to be honest. It's one of the teaware. I have a smell of the wet leaf. All right, this should be a little more intense. Oh yeah, much more flowery. So the smell of the wet leaf is, like I said, more in the same as the dry leaf, but more intense. It's got a very strong flowery profile to it, but also mixed with that like more mineral character and that leathery tobacco profile with some stone fruit scent to it as well. So first infusion. Color is quite light. A little cloudy, which you could expect. Still a young tea, but very nice pale amber color on it. Let's give it a quick taste. Cheers. Okay, quite light in the mouth. A very noticeable upfront bitterness, but it quickly dissipates as well. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely a strong bitterness. Light astringency as well. I can already feel my taste buds like contracting a bit. And there is a little upfront sweetness, but mostly bitterness. It really sticks at the back of the tongue and really grips it. So it's still present as of my last sip. I can still like taste the bitterness, like when you crush up an aspirin, you know that typical bitterness. It's that, but in a lighter form, of course. It isn't that bitter, and now it's starting to transform into sweetness. So yeah, very interesting mouthfeel on this one. Very light, not thick at all. And the taste is actually quite sweet still. I mean, it is quite flowery. I mean, not sweet. It's quite flowery, but like bitter flowers. So I'll brew up a second infusion on this one. See how that one goes. But yeah, that's why you buy Lao Man E tea, right? Because of that very strong bitter character. Let's see how that one goes. The leaves are opening up right now, so I'd expect, oh, there's a like toasted note as well. you get when you get in popcorn. So that toasted note is suddenly present. Oh yeah, the bitterness just lingers at the back of the mouth. It's not at the front, it's really at the back of my tongue and the sides of my mouth. All right, let's see how this tea evolves. I will go through a couple of more infusions and see you in the middle steeps. All right, so we're doing the 6th infusion right now. And here in the middle steeps, this is where the tea, to me, really gets interesting. First of all, if you like this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel for more tea reviews. But like I said, the tea is really getting interesting. So there's still the lingering bitterness in this tea. But right now it's transforming to sweetness after a while, as well as there's more upfront sweetness to this tea. I can feel the sweetness on my gums. I can feel the sweetness at the back of my mouth. I can even feel like a gripping feeling in my at the top of my throat. I am getting like that sensation you get when you drink a lot of hot drinks and you get those, you feel like you've got to burp. My stomach is really working. And the interesting thing as well about this tea is its astringency. The top of my tongue is quite rougher than I have with other teas. It's like I've had food that's too hot and I've burnt my tongue. That kind of roughness. So there's a really interesting astringency. But apart from that, about the taste, there is a lingering floweriness in the mouth as well, quite coating, which is weird, but because it's contrasted with this astringency. And in terms of body feel, I am like getting a combination of a relaxed body feel as well as the alertness, but I think that's mainly because of the caffeine. So there is some Huigan present right now. Very good tea. The thickness hasn't really set into the liquor, so it's not, I wouldn't even call it medium thick. It is still quite light to medium thick, but really not that thick in terms of compared with other Puerhs. So very interesting. I will go through a couple of more infusions. I think it will yield perhaps 5 or 6 more. We'll see. And then I'll do a final evaluation on this tea. See you there. All right, brewing up what will be the final infusion of this Lao Man E. This is the 11th infusion. As you can see, it's quite a bit darker. Now this is a 4-minute infusion. One last final long infusion. And well, first of all, let me know in the comments if you've had this tea. Have you had the spring version of it? Because I find it quite bitter, and I can only imagine the spring version being a lot more bitter than this. So let me know if you've had that one. I will brew this in some clayware in the future to see if that astringency and bitterness will be toned down a bit. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if I would enjoy that, because I think the most interesting thing about this tea is the whole experience of the mouthfeel. There's really not a lot in terms of taste. It doesn't stand out in terms of taste on any point. It isn't particularly fruity. It isn't particularly flowery. So none of that. The really interesting thing about this tea is its mouthfeel and how it evolves. And if you take away that bitterness, if you take away that astringency that really, in my opinion, defines this tea, then don't have a lot going on. But I will surely do a full session with some proper clay. I will also be very interested to see how this tea ages, if this astringency and bitterness will transform to more sweetness when the tea ages. Really, I don't think the bitterness will disappear completely out of this tea. Not with even perhaps 20 years of aging. I don't think it will ever leave this tea. But it could be. I'm not sure. It is an autumn tea after all. I'm not so well versed in aging tea myself, so it really won't be in my stash for another 20 years. I think when drinking this tea, what I'd suggest is let it sit for a couple of minutes between steeps. Don't chug steep after steep, just let it sit. Pay attention to the mouthfeel and let it fill your mouth with all of its bitterness, all of its astringency, all of its sweetness, and see how it evolves. It's really interesting. That's I think the main attribute of this tea. In terms of body feel, I do have a warming sensation. I do have a relaxed sensation, quite a bit actually. So all in all, I'd give this tea a 8 out of 10. It is an interesting tea. It doesn't have a lot going in terms of taste or smell. It is really interesting in the mouthfeel department. So yeah, let me know if you've had this tea, what you think of it, if your experiences are similar to mine, what other teas you would suggest that compared to this. Did you have the Shanghai, for example? Just let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to read them. So, cheers everyone and have a nice day.